Good afternoon. You're on Ottawa Designers. We're here with Kevin from Ottawa House Painters, one of the best painting companies in Ottawa, who's going to discuss everything painting. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How about yourself?
Very good. Thank you.
Good.
To give the viewer a little bit of a history on you.
Okay, so I grew up in Ottawa, and I've had several different careers throughout my lifetime. Started off in security and surveillance, policing. Did a couple of career changes from there. I've always had an entrepreneurial side, you know, and always wanted to be able to uh, be my own boss and help others and partner with other people. So fast forward to 2021, Rich and I are the co-owners, who's my brother-in-law as well. We're the co-owners of Ottawa House Painters.
Amazing. And could you tell people what is Ottawa House Painters?
Okay, so we are a painting company.
Yep.
So we specialize in residential, commercial, industrial, and new builds. So right now, our main focus, I guess, our main attraction is the residential repaints. So that's people like you and I that want to get our house repainted for either selling or personal preference. And they'd call Ottawa House Painters. We go in, we have a crew, management crew as well, project manager to make sure everything's going smoothly to complete your project.
That's
From
awesome.
there, we also like new builds, for example. So brand new homes, right from drywall to finish. We've done many homes like that as well. And from commercial projects, we have the contract, for example, with Diamond Storage. We've done different restaurants, like Equator Coffee, things like that. So we have a wide range of different things we do.
Painting is such a big scope of work, and really if you get a good painter and a quality painter, it makes the world of difference in your house or any project, really. So what makes your company stand out amongst other painting companies in the city?
Absolutely. Okay, so I guess I'll start from the beginning, how we even started the company. When Rich and I started the company, we wanted to make sure that we had a really strong foundation. So it wasn't like he and I were painting, then it got busy, then hopefully we opened up a company and hired a couple people. That was never the case. So in the very beginning, we hired a marketing company, Savant Marketing. Great, awesome people.
Wow.
We hired a paint coach, a business paint coach, Oliver Wolf, amazing guy as well. We had many meetings before we went active. So Rich and I created a business plan, what our goals are, and what kind of culture we wanted to create for our company. From there, that's where we started to get in contact with different people we knew that either owned, property management companies like Rent in Ottawa, places like that, to kind of start off the jobs and see how it goes, and try to see maintainability through that. From there, we just exploded. So we ended up hiring more people, managers, things like that. Then we started really specifying in the kind of work we've done. So we went through it all. So I made sure we dabbled in every type of painting environment, from spraying exteriors to spraying interiors, from little home renovations to huge jobs. Like we've done embassies and ambassadors' homes, things like that. So we have a wide range of different experiences that we're able to now fall back on and improve.
Residential, the whole shebang you do.
Yeah.
Brands of company of paints that you prefer using, or are you able to use all of the various brands?
We're able to use all various brands, but our main contract that we have is with Sherwin-Williams.
Excellent.
There's a lot of stores around, lots of reps, easy access to skilled individuals that know the answers to any issues we have that's happening on the walls or railings or decks, things like that. So they've been very helpful during the very beginning in our journey.
And as a designer, they have such a huge scope of various paints that you can use for flooring, for walls, for ceilings, for trim, for feature walls, all that type of stuff. What are some of the most difficult colors that you've had to paint over?
Oh gosh. So any dark colors are the most difficult colors, specifically red. The dyes in red are very difficult to get over, and it requires maybe a little trick of the trade. So if anybody experiences a really dark wall, it could be red, black, blue, any one of those deep color primary colors. You want to tint it, but don't use white tinted primer. Use gray tinted primer. It adds substance to the actual primer to cover the color. And then now you're painting over a primed gray wall instead of whatever ridiculous color it might be happening on that wall. So that's a little trick of the trade.
That's smart. So while you're speaking of primers, are there specific primers that you would recommend using, and why are primers so important? Can you explain that?
Yes, yeah, no problem. I can explain very quickly. So I'll go by category. So if you have a stain, like a water stain or an oil stain on your ceiling or on your walls, I go for an oil-based or shellac-based primer because it seals odors, it seals stains, so like it kills product. Yeah. That's very specific to those type of issues. If you have brand new drywall, it needs to be primed before painted. Just use a simple PVA primer. It's your cheapest primer you could find. It's probably $12 a gallon. It's simply to seal that drywall so it's ready for paint and preparation. And then finally, it's primer that's made for darker walls. If you're going over an awkward color, that could be any type of primer. That's for example, it's called Cover Max. Sherwin-Williams sells Cover Max. That's a really good primer, covers well, and it's meant for covering colors and awkward situations like that.
Exactly. So are there areas that you service, that you don't service? Are you strictly within, the Ottawa perimeter, or do you service clients in different areas?
Yeah, so our main focus is the Ottawa area. So, from Canada to Orleans, but many times, like right now we have a project going on in Elmont, so an office that's going to be built soon. We've gone as far as Renfrew. We've done a large custom home in Renfrew. Right now we have a full neighborhood with Habitat for Humanity. We're partners with them, and we're doing in Kempville, so a full neighborhood in Kempville. So we're all over the place, and I have another project in Maxville, so all the way east south. So we go everywhere, really. It's just depending on the size. So if it's really far out, we have to charge a minimum charge for travel and everything else. But if it's worth it for the client, then it's worth it for us.
Absolutely. So what does quality control mean to you?
Oh, it starts from the very bottom or the very top. It's cohesive. So obviously you want the proper painter with the proper skill set in the proper project. So everyone's different, and I can't expect any one of my painters to be the best at everything. But we tailor each project to which painter we have, and we have support painters with them. So let's say painter A is really good at cutting, but painter B isn't. Painter B will be rolling while someone else is cutting. Cohesive teamwork. It's from the expectations of the client. So as long as there's a clear expectation, like what walls would you like prepped, how much prep you'd like, then we're both on the same page. Then there's no issues with quality because we both know exactly what type of preparation and job you'd like. And then finally, it's the project manager, operations manager, or owner that makes sure that the project is going smoothly. So our managers visit the site almost daily to make sure everything is going well, contact the client, and are in communication with the painters that are on site at all times, so we know what's going on. So if they're not too sure, to continue on in a hallway, is this supposed to go into a bedroom now? They don't do any mistakes like that because they'll contact the project manager that's managed that project.
Very smart. So that's amazing. That's the process with your staff. Now, could you explain what the process is? If someone gives you a phone call, how does it work from the phone call until they're getting a painter in their house actually doing the work?
Absolutely. So if they get a phone call or an email for a request for a quote, so the client would like a quote from us, and let's say it's an interior quote. So they contact us. I gather all their information, their address, email, phone number, and their name. I would then obtain some information to vet and understand what they want. So if my company is able to even do it. So from there, we then schedule an appointment to go in and do an assessment. So we would go in, maybe take 20 minutes or so, have a conversation with the client, and we do a full walkthrough, exactly what's going on. So we would check out, let's say, bedroom 1, 2, and 3. I'd walk with the client, and then obviously have a conversation about what they like, colors, preparation, expectation. I always make sure that's number one. From there, I would gather my measurements to know how much material is required, take photos or a video of the property that we're painting, so then I could refer to it once I write out the quote. From there, then I leave the house. So I have the video, I have the measurements, and that conversation, leave the house, go back to the office, and then write out a proper quote with all the details on there, and then I send it off to the client within 48 hours or so. From there, they then respond. If there's any questions, hopefully they accept it. A deposit's sent to me, and then from there we do a scheduling meeting with our management team, and then we schedule their project accordingly to our schedule and the clients.
Beautiful. Now, if there's damage in the wall or something like that, are your painters able, say there's holes in the walls or the wall has a slightly uneven finish or something like that, are you able to fix that, or do you have other staff that would come in and address that situation?
Yeah, so our staff is able to do that. We do offer drywall repair. So each of my employees have a different skill level. So some have higher levels of skill in drywall repair, and others in like caulking and other type of preparation. So I'd ensure that that particular damage or prep is being dealt with the proper person. Larger repairs, so let's say a large ceiling repair that requires like a full rip out of drywall. I do have a partnership with a drywaller who comes in and helps me out and does larger drywall repairs and new things. So like install brand new drywall, tear out some areas, put a little bit of framing on, and then we're good to go. So we extend our services beyond that as well.
That's fabulous. So favorite colors to work with when you're painting?
Oh, I love Repose Gray by Sherwin-Williams.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
And your top 3 favorite things about your career and job now having switched into this field?
Absolutely. So number one is the stress. It's actually quite stressful, but it motivates me to ensure that everything's going smoothly. So it keeps me kind of sharp all the time, right? It's not too much stress, but it's just enough to make sure, the right type of stress. And then seeing the people I work with grow and like stay with me. It's amazing. Like I've had people work since the beginning, right? A few people for 3 years plus have been working and haven't changed jobs. It's fantastic. So they get to see that, right?
Yeah.
And growth in the company itself. So I've always been the type of person, I get bored quick. So I get bored quick. I'll look for something else, or I go do the next best thing, or what's the next thing that's in line for me. At least with Ottawa House Painters, there's so much room for growth.
Yeah.
Like, do you want to get, sorry?
And it's always changing. It's always a new client and a new space and something exciting. Exactly,
right? So like, for example, one of our managers knows how to do mural walls. That's a new offer that we can now present to clients. Or, we want to focus more on commercial projects or even small renovations. We've been doing some small renovations included with our painting contracts. So now we might expand to something a little bit more on that side of things and see how that goes. So it's always something going on. It's always a moving part.
That's phenomenal. So where do you see your company within 5 years?
Oh gosh. Okay. So we're in our 3rd year now. So 2 more years. So ideally, we like to expand our services. So right now, obviously painting services are number one thing. That's our expertise, and that's awesome. Eventually, I would like to expand into like the renovation thing I was speaking of, into finishing trades. So that would be drywall or trim, items like that would be nice. But before that, I want to make sure our management team is really strong with our crews. So we're still building the management team, still making sure everything is rocking and rolling. I value their input and their information all the time. So I always run it by them like, hey man, like, should we do this? It's like, no, that's just way too much right now. I think we're gonna be too busy. Like, perfect, good, thanks for letting me know. Things like that. So in the next 2 years or so, hopefully we expand a little bit into the renovation project and just ripen things up in the company itself. So it's more of a smoother wheel because we're still working on kinks.
That's amazing to get in and really make sure that every step that you make, that step is completely handled and beautiful, and you've got great clientele, great staff, and you're ready for step 2 so that it keeps you excited and it keeps you in that field. So now if clients wanted to reach you, what's your social media, phone number, email, website? How can we get a hold of you?
Yeah, so our website is ottawahousepainters.com. That's the actual name of our company. So I thought it'd be pretty good to have that quick and easy, and that's the name of the company. That's where you could grab a quote, learn about us, our services. Our phone number is 613-721-7565, or email us at info@ottawahousepainters.com.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. I can't wait to use you guys even more for more projects. And
absolutely,
you guys all around, that's fabulous that you're doing the Habitat for Humanity project. That's amazing when you can do something for the greater good as well as earning an income and doing well for society at the same time. I appreciate that. So again, that's Kevin with Ottawa House Painters. And if you'd like to reach him, go ahead on his website, reach out by phone. He's one of the best guys in the city. And thanks for being on Ottawa Designers.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having us.
My pleasure. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Take care.